Hi guys and welcome back to Movies That Matter with the Viking. Alita Battle Angel came out in 2019. At the box office it made over 400 million on a budget of 150 million to 200 million. So it made a good chunk of box office, and for the last nearly 2 years now, the fan base of the Alita Battle Angel film and the comic and the anime show have been asking for a sequel. They've been tagging Fox, Disney, they've been tagging James Cameron, they've been using the hashtag Alita sequel, Alita Battle Angel. Well, roughly 5 days ago, they decided to have a campaign to get a re-release of Alita Battle Angel in theaters with the hope that it would show the big studios that there is the demand for this film and that people will actually go out to see it, and hopefully resulting in a sequel. Now, the fans came together. I took part myself. I tweeted hashtag re-release Alita Battle Angel, or re-release Alita. Tagged Cinemark theaters, hoping that they would be the ones to introduce the film back into theaters. And you know what? They got back to the fans within a few hours. I think the campaign was only like 2 or 3 hours in the process. And they got back and they said, look, we hear you, Alita Battle Angel fans. We are going to do it. Stay tuned for more info. And they have set a date now. October 30th is when Alita Battle Angel will re-release in theaters, and this is great. And I'll get into why I think this is great, not only for the Alita Battle Angel fans and the hopes for the sequel, but also for movies in general and also for theatrical experiences in general, because that seems to be going down at the moment with a lot of theaters closing. Now, some backstory for the Alita Battle Angel lore per se. It started in 1990 as a comic book strip in a magazine. Okay, it ran from 1990 to 1995 and was successful. In 1993, an anime film came about, and look, it wasn't always called Alita Battle Angel. It was called Gunnm, starting off like that. I think Gunnm or something like that. Gunnm was how it was pronounced. Later changed to Battle Angel Alita. Now, where does James Cameron come into this? The director of Terminator 2, Titanic, Avatar. He's a box office king. Where does he come into all of this? Well, he was introduced to the character in the late 90s by Del Toro, another fellow great director. But James Cameron got fascinated by the concept of Alita. Now, the comic strip in the magazine from 1990 to 1995, I've looked at some of the panels, some very, very cool artwork. I like the way that's presented, and I love the film, and I'll get to that in a minute. I've yet to watch the animated one from 1993. I definitely want to check that out. I think it's on YouTube. It's only like an hour long. I want to check that out, and I'll probably do a review of it. I also actually want to get a look at the comic strips, if they're still out there. I know there's other ones that came after. I definitely want to get a look at those, buy some of those, and review some of those. So guys, let me know if you know exactly where's the best place to get all this content, because I actually am intrigued by the whole world of Alita Battle Angel. But James Cameron fell in love with what he got to see. Look, for years he has wanted to make an Alita Battle Angel film, a live action adaptation of these characters. But for a very long time he couldn't do it because the technology for CGI didn't really exist. You just can see now with his Avatar films, the 2009 one was a huge success in box office, but it's taken him this long now to actually produce a sequel because he's waiting on the technology to actually make these films the way that he sees them in his head. And it was the very same for Alita Battle Angel. He didn't want to make the film, he didn't want to make a lackluster Alita film without the right technology there, and he had to wait. Now, he was so busy with the Avatar films that he gave it to fellow director Robert Rodriguez, and he did a very good job. James Cameron was a very hands-on producer with this film, and it was produced by 20th Century Fox, who were later purchased by Disney, and now it's under kind of a Disney banner. But the twist is James Cameron has the rights to Alita Battle Angel, so he could present it to Disney. It could be through Universal, it could be through many of the huge studios. But I'd say Disney would like to work with James Cameron, definitely. They're going to be the ones that's going to be producing and distributing his Avatar films whenever they get to be made. So definitely they'll want to work with James Cameron because, as I said, he is a box office god. His films know how to resonate with fans. It'd be interesting to see how the Avatar films do in a post-pandemic era, or maybe we might be still in a pandemic era in that time. So it'd be interesting for someone like him. But I think James Cameron, people give him a lot of stick. People don't believe in him as much with these Avatar sequels, but he has an unbelievable vision, and he trusted Robert Rodriguez to get his vision out there, and Robert Rodriguez did an unbelievable job with this film. I came late to the party of Alita Battle Angel. I did. In 2019, I don't even remember watching the trailer. It just completely went under my radar. And by the looks of posters and just seeing TV spots of it, it just didn't resonate with me. It didn't attract me enough. Maybe because of the way it was presented. But I didn't really look at the trailer. I didn't really know anything about this film. Now, I'm a big person in the Schneider Cut movement, the Air Cut movement, as in terms of supporting those things and keeping up to date with everything that happens. And over the course of time, new kind of trends have come, like hashtag release the Schumacher cut, hashtag Alita Army, different kind of things like that. So I said, look, I'll check out the Alita Battle Angel film. I'll check it out and I'll watch it. And a few months ago I got to see it. I did a review for it. It's on this channel. I'll put a link in the description. Go check it out. And you know what? With all the hype that was surrounded this film from many passionate fans online who I follow on Facebook and on Twitter and on Instagram, I couldn't really present my opinion on the Alita Army or the film in general because I had not seen it. In the last few months I've got to see the film, and I love the world building that was done by Robert Rodriguez. I think it's disappointing that a sequel hasn't been greenlit yet. I love the cast, I love the world that they have built, the technology being used, absolutely amazing. And it has an unbelievable cast. You got Jennifer Connelly, you got Mahershala Ali, you got Christoph Waltz, you got Michelle Rodriguez joins. You've got so many people, and Rosa Salazar is playing Alita, and she does an unbelievable job. And with this film, I'm confident in saying it's one of the best action films that's come out in the last 10 years. It's up there with the John Wick films, it's up there with the Mission Impossible films, but this does something very unique because it uses so much CGI, and it works. You know, this is a huge CGI film, and it only cost about 150 to 200 million, and it looks like a film that could cost only 400 million. The technology that's being used, and it's brilliantly done. You can see that James Cameron has a stamp on this movie in the way that it's made. The cast is unbelievable. The story is very intriguing, but the world building absolutely got me. I liked Alita, but everything else around it, this world, the places they all want to get to, and even even when Alita came from herself and her past battles and past wars, everything around the film just got me kind of in awe. I wanted to see more of these characters, but not only of the characters, but of this world. It set up things beautifully for me, and the sequel, the ending for this film, if you haven't seen Alita Battle Angel, you need to see it, because the ending really, really does set up what could be an unbelievable sequel and what should be an unbelievable trilogy. I really do believe that. And the Alita Army in full swing, and they're not negative, they're not aggressive, they're not calling people names online. They just show their passionate influence this film has had on them, and they want to show Fox or Disney or James Cameron or Robert Rodriguez that they love this film and they want to see more of it. And now Cinemark re-releasing this film because the fans have asked for it to happen. And this is unbelievable, especially in a time where theatres are closing down big time, where audiences aren't going to the theatres as much, and cinema to a degree is dying. And it kind of is. You know, streaming services are thriving, digital stuff are thriving, while the cinemas are in a bad place at this moment. And Tenet was what people hope would be the one that would get people back. It's not. Will there be Wonder Woman? I don't think so. And you can see all these movies are push. But Alita Army, or the Alita Battle Angel film, is re-releasing on October 30th in the US. I'm disappointed I'm not living in the US, because I would love to see this film on the big screen. I've yet to see it on the big screen because I watched it at home in my own sitting room here on my big TV, but I would love to have experienced this on the huge screen. I think it's great that it's being released. Now, if this film is a success in terms of people going to see it, a bit of more online buzz, then this could show theatres, this could show studios that showing films that have come out in the last 4 or 5 years could be the way to get people coming back. If you had Alita Battle Angel coming out and it does well enough, if it gets buzz, then it might show Disney, look, what if we start putting in some of the Avenger films, or some of the Captain America or Iron Man films? Or what if Universal start putting in Fast and Furious? They own Fast and Furious, I think. Or the old Mission Impossible films. What happens if we do that and say, look, and market them and actually have a plan of releasing these films? If you say Captain America, the first Avenger is going to come out, and then next is the Avengers this week, or next week is going to be Iron Man 3. You could get people coming back, and that might actually show studios and theatres that, look, if we stay open, then this is the way to get people back. And I think Alita, if it can do that, that would be unbelievable. And James Cameron, it would kind of be bittersweet if James Cameron could have an impact on theaters, especially during a pandemic. I know it's not his film, he was a producer on it, but it's his kind of baby, he owns the rights to it. Robert Rodriguez did an unbelievable job. But it'd be bittersweet if James Cameron could have an influence on the theatrical experience during the pandemic to get people coming back, because he's been huge successes with Terminator, with Titanic and Avatar, where people have come in floods to the theaters. And now I wonder, with Alita Battle Angel, it might gain new fans, it might gain new momentum, and it might show studios and theaters, look, if we show past films what have done pretty well, it might get people comfortable coming back to the theaters. And if we have a detailed plan from, we're in October now, to say next May, and we start re-releasing older films that have come out in the last few years, it might get people back interested in the theatre going experience. Look, it's worth a try. All it can do is fail. The film isn't going to lose any money because of it. It's already had its box office run, 400 million, unbelievable. So it's worth a try, I think. And I think this is unbelievable from the Alita Army that they have done this. And it's great. Robert Rodriguez has showed his love for this online on Twitter. James Cameron on Facebook and on Twitter and on Instagram, he has showed his love as well. So he is a huge following. He's a prestigious director. People love James Cameron movies. People know who James Cameron is. He's up there with Steven Spielberg and Christopher Nolan, of them kind of heights of talk. And I think it's great. And he has a big following online as well. So it might get people going to see these films. Now here, as I said, it's not releasing on the big screen. I haven't seen it on the big screen. But all in all, I want to say well done to the Alita Army. Unbelievable. And I'm really intrigued by the world that Alita Battle Angel sets up. The animated film, I'm definitely going to check that out. I want to read some of the comic strips as well. I know there's kind of adaptations that have come out in the last few years as well. I definitely want to check those out. So let me know, guys, where to find them. But yeah, Alita Battle Angel is coming back to theaters. This is done by the fan base. The fans got this happening, and fair play to Cinemark, who listened to the fans and said, look, we'll release this film, even though we're probably not in the best of times with money-wise, and with new movies and the pandemic and everything that. But look, it's great. It's a positive thing to see. All it can do is show us this doesn't work. That's all it can do. On the bright side, it could be a positive. It could end up being a working thing that studios and theaters can think about going forward. But guys, let me know your thoughts on Alita Battle Angel. I want to hear your thoughts. Have you seen the film? Do you plan on seeing the film? You should definitely check it out. You've got loads of time. Definitely do it. Give a like, comment, subscribe, guys. Come follow me on all the social media on top of the one thing we love, which is movies. Also, guys, I want to show you some of the online buzz when this announcement was made. This was James Cameron on Twitter. He says, we're with you, Alita Army. Alita's coming back to the big screen on October 30th. And as I said, James Cameron has a huge following online through Facebook, through Instagram, and through Twitter. So this is pretty good. It might gather people to go to the theatre. It might gather people who haven't seen Alita to go check out this film. And it might gather some online buzz, which is great. He said the same thing on Instagram, and he has a lot of followers there as well. So look, it's bright, it's positive, and it's unbelievable to see. And well done to the Alita Army, as I said. James Cameron, for me, is one of the best filmmakers of all time. Him being a producer on this film was probably one of the reasons it got to be made in the first place. Studios will back him and his vision because of his past successes. On Facebook, he has a big following as well. You can see there 32,000 likes, 3,000 shares, 1.6 comments as well. You know, so he is interactive with his fan base, and you can see that, you know, with those three social medias, it could definitely influence people to try and go and see the film, which I hope it does. Robert Rodriguez also tweeted out in his support, and he showed great support towards the Alita Army. He had this to say: yes, thank you Cinemark, thank you Alita Army, hashtag re-release Alita. And that's an article there from Cinema Blend. It sounds like Alita Battle Angel will be coming back to select theatres. Robert Rodriguez, a very interesting filmmaker, picked some interesting projects, and I was actually surprised that he made this film, because his other bits of works are weird and stuff like that, and gory, but this is really well done by him. And this is the official Alita Battle Angel
social media account. Guess what? Hashtag Alita Army. Alita Battle Angel is coming back to theaters on October 30th. And it's great to see them using the hashtag Alita Army, because it shows them, or it shows us, that they know that the fan base is alive and there's people out there who want to see more from this world, to see more from these kind of characters and the world that James Cameron and Robert built. Unbelievable. And Cinemark, of course, responded within 3 hours of the event, and they go, "Hi, hashtag Alita Army, we hear you loud and clear. Stay tuned. More info coming soon. Hashtag re-release Alita." And I was actually surprised it took them so soon to respond. The fan campaign only started within a few hours, and Cinemark were on the gun straight away, and they said, "Yep, we listen to you, we can hear you, and we will do it." And that's unbelievable. And sometimes when you have these campaigns, these fan campaigns, it's very hard to get a response from the people that you want to get a response from. You just want to make an online buzz. And then they had this to say, hashtag Alita Army, help us get the word out that Alita is coming back to theaters. Can we get to 1K retweets? And this is good for Twitter posts, for Instagram, Facebook posts, YouTube videos, to let people know that it is being released in the US, and it might get people to want to go see it. Theaters are struggling right now. New movies aren't coming out, and this is a great time for Alita and Battle Angel to gather a new fan base and get more people with the Alita Army. Do I think a sequel will happen? I do think a sequel will happen. I think the star power of James Cameron will make this happen. I think the success of 400 million at the box office is very hard to say no to. And with the possibility of it being a Disney Plus series or Disney Plus movie is a high possibility, and it's great. But guys, thanks for watching this video. Thanks for listening to my thoughts. If you want to listen to my review of the film when I watched it for the very first time a few months ago, the link for that will be in the description. Go and give that a listen to. Leave your thoughts of the film below, here or on that other video. I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts. Come follow me on Twitter at MovieBuff100. Just type in Movies That Matter with the Viking. I know it's a long name, but I have to stick with it now. You can find me on Instagram with the same name also. Until next time, guys, thanks for listening.